run.
What did they do to you?
So was whipped, burnt with a paraffin heater. There's no electric or running water because Baghdad was bombed every single night. Every single night it was bombed for hours and hours, and so they had paraffin heaters where they would heat spoons, and I had lots of friction burns, you know, from the time of trying to get up to the Syrian border, and so they would rub them into the wounds on the inside of my legs. I had some teeth damage. My teeth were cracked because when I was captured, I was obviously beaten up, frustration from the guards. You know, they have a nice word for it. It's called tactical questioning, but actually, well, you just get filled in because you get caught. And so I had this side pulled out by a guy with a pair of pliers who said he was a dentist who had practiced in Guy's Hospital for 9 years. You know, great English. He's you know, his grammar's better than mine. You know, it's great.
How did that feel?
Strange enough, at that stage, it was obviously very, very painful. But after a while, what happens? The body adapts quite well to pain. What you do, you just black out. So even the Nazis discovered you can only go so far before it becomes counterproductive because you're not getting what you want out of the people, and which I did on that for sure. And then some of the beatings in the cells used to do like what we call a round robin, where they go into a cell, beat whoever's up, and they'll come into you. And in some ways, it was better if you were the first one because then you know it's done, sort of thing. By then, I'd been about 16 years about 15 years as a professional soldier. You know, being in the infantry, you know, I'm used to being wet, cold and hungry. You know, being beaten up loads of time in garrison towns, all that sort of stuff. You can't control anything that happens physically. So all you got to do is put all of your efforts in retaining your mental sort of integrity.
Is there any emotional legacy? Are you haunted at all by what happened?
No, touch wood underneath. Very, very, very lucky. So no, and it does happen to people, but I've been very lucky.
How about some of the things that you did to others? I mean, you obviously killed people.
Yes. No, I'm all right with that. I first time I killed somebody when I was 19. I killed this guy called McNab in South Armagh, and I went into the bravado bit of all that, you know, because nobody wants to know, to tell you, you know, say that you're scared. And so I decided not to tell anybody I was scared. It was only later on I understood that everyone's scared, you know, they're lying or they're mentally deficient if they say they're not. But as a soldier, first of all, you've got a responsibility to yourself to stay alive. You've got a responsibility to whoever you are, the collective, whatever you're, a patrol, whatever it is, to keep each other alive. So certainly a lot of what the regiment do, Special Air Service, is not about confrontation. You know, if you do that, there's things called fighting patrols where you will go out and actually go out to make contact with the enemy. But most of the time is actually to try and get somewhere, to do something, blow something up or poison someone or do whatever it may be.
Poison someone?
Yes, you can put, whether you contaminate in the water system or you contaminate in air ducts, whatever it may be. But so you're there to do something. So when things kick off, well, you know, everybody's in the same situation. You know, the fact is you've got a responsibility to stay alive. So the object is, because you're normally in a small group, is just crack on with it, get it done as quickly as possible, and go away and get away. Because actually, 9 out of 10 times, there are normally going to be more of them than there are you. So get on with it and go. And people do that, and people, you know, die. But it really is the point that nobody's asking you to do that. You know, that's part and parcel of being a soldier, and you know, if you like, the job spec in the military doctrine of the infantry and special forces is to close into and destroy the enemy. That's what you do. So that's part and parcel of what you do. So if you don't like it, get out.
How many of the enemy did you close in on, would you say, in total?
What, during Bravo 20?
Well, no, throughout your whole career.
People don't talk about it in that way, really. It's not as if, like, you know, people have notches on their belts and all that sort of stuff. But you know, well, certainly, you know, taking Bravo 20, the CIA reports that came back during the contacts as we were trying to get out, the estimates were around about 200 to 250 Iraqis that were killed or injured during that contacts, a series of contacts we had over 2 days to get out. And most of them were around the border because everybody was forcing, you know, last 11 kilometres we had to try and sort of fight our way to the border during that last night. And again, you know, like you've got responsibility, you just got to crack on and get on with it, because otherwise you're going to get killed.